What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Hope your day's going pretty good. My day's going pretty good. Got a story for y'all today. Come out of Arkansas, located in Benton County. And shout out to everybody in Benton County, Arkansas. Now, before I get started with this story, I want to say this here. If you're not subscribed to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It will be greatly appreciated. And also, hit that notification bell so anytime that I drop a video like this, you will get the video. It will be greatly appreciated. Now let's get into the story. Have you ever had someone come to you with some information about something, somebody, person, place, or a thing? And once they told you the information about whatever they're telling you about, you said to yourself, what? No, man, ain't no way. No, Mike didn't do that. Sarah didn't do that. Ain't no way in the world. No, bro, you got to be lying. No, sis, you got to be lying. Well, that's exactly what I said to myself once I read the facts, and also inside of this affidavit, I said to myself, I was like, man, come on, bro. Come on. Ain't no way in the world he did that. Ain't no way in the world that she did something like this. Because what they did was very stupid, very trifling, and evil. Now let's get into more of the story. On the screen here, I have 21-year-old Darian Urban and also 20-year-old Shalene Ehlers. Now what they did, like I just said, it was trifling, it was evil, and it was selfish, and they should not have ever had a child in the presence of them from the start. And I'm going to say that. Let's get into the story. An Arkansas couple tried to sell their baby for $1,000 and some beer with a twisted self-made contract that said, no changing y'all's minds, the court document said. So that's exactly what the court document said, that they made a contract out and said, no changing y'all mind. So once I sign this paper for y'all get my child, y'all can't say nothing else. Y'all can't change your mind. The child is y'all's now. Let's get into more of the story. The child's parents by the name of Darian Urban, 21 years old, and Shalene Ehlers, 20 years old, signed a letter granting the custody and then handing him off to another person. That's exactly what they did. Made a fake adoption paper and handed their child off to a complete stranger. Now think about all of the bad things that could have happened in the midst of this child being in the presence of completely strangers. The parents didn't care, so they might not have even cared what they did to this child from the get-go. Let's get to more of the story. Urban and Ehlers were arrested in Benton County on September the 21st. Both faced felony charges of engaging the welfare of a minor and attempting to negotiate the relinquishment of a minor for adoption. That's exactly what they did. So they've been charged with this and they got some felonies. Great, good. That's good that they both have been charged for this stupidity. But there's a little bit more to this story that make you say, come on, man. They are the only ones that are being charged in this. What's going on? What's really going on? Let's get into more of the story. Their arrest came after a hideaway campground manager contacted the Benton County Sheriff Department on Saturday, September the 21st, to report that Urban and Ehlers was trying to sell their baby boy to a resident on site. So they stayed on the campground. Here's a picture of how a campground may look. So there are campgrounds all over the world. Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, all over the world. North Carolina, South Carolina. Campgrounds all around the world. For when people travel, they may stay there over the night. They may stay there for a day, maybe even a few hours. No telling. But they stay on a campsite, and they was trying to sell their child to another person on the campsite. Let's get into more of the story. Police responded before calling the emergency medical services, which transported the infant to the children's hospital for evaluation at the time. Urban and Ehlers were not present at the time. So once the police came to the campsite after the manager reported all this in, they were nowhere to be found. They weren't on the north, south, east, or west of the campus or the campsite. They were nowhere to be found. Let's get to more of the story. Witness reported that Ricky Crawford, a resident on the campground, had earlier visited the couples and offered to take their baby for the night for exchange for beer, which they agreed according to the court document. So they already had met up with somebody by the name of Ricky Crawford on the campsite, and they agreed to giving their child over to this person for beer. Yes, that's exactly what I said. They exchanged their child for a 6-pack of beer. The story even get worse from there. Crawford later told the cops that he took the baby from the duo and then gave him to Martin, who was staying on the campsite, because he was concerned about the welfare of the child. Yay, that's great. That's good. Yes, you got the child and you gave it to somebody else because you were concerned about the welfare of the child. Now, if you were concerned about the welfare of the child, as soon as you got that exchange from the child, from the parents to exchange beer for the child, you should have called the police right then and there. You should not have been waiting to do nothing. Matter of fact, you didn't wait to do nothing. The only thing you did was took that child from you to someone else. But the person on the campsite had to get the notion of this, or the wind of this, and report this in. Boy, that's such a shame. Don't make any sense at all. Let's get into more of the story. According to the court documents, Urban and Ehlers approached Martin and then offered to sell the baby for $1,000. So they also approached the person by the name of Martin after they already gave this child to somebody by the name of Ricky Crawford for some beer. And then after that, I guess they said, you know what, baby? You know what? You know what's a good idea? Let's go ahead and give our child over to Martin and sell it to them for $1,000. Now, I don't know if Martin is a man or a woman. I don't know if they're a gay couple or a man and man or friends. I don't know anything about this. Only thing I know is they exchanged their child over to this person by the name of Ricky Crawford, and then after Ricky Crawford, the child wound up going to a person by the name of Martin. Martin allegedly agreed to the deal on the condition that they signed a contract that he drew up and outlined it in their intentions to surrender the baby over to them for $1,000 on that following Monday, when he was supposed to have the money. So he was supposed to have the money on that Monday for the child, that person by the name of Martin. So I'm saying to myself at this moment, arrest them all. Arrest the person by the name of Ricky Crawford, and also arrest the person by the name of Martin, because all of them was in on this. All of them should be arrested. I say that, and I'm going to stand on that. Everybody should have been arrested because they knew exactly what they was doing. They were trying to buy a child, and they was also trying to exchange a child for a 6-pack of beer, and also trying to buy a child for $1,000. Now, they didn't even get to even buy this child at all. No money at all was exchanged. Let's get into more of the story. In the meantime, the campground manager caught wind of the deal and alerted the authorities. Urban and Ehlers were arrested before the deal was even finalized, and no money was exchanged. That's a good thing. I'm very happy about that. I'm glad that these two fools, these two idiots, got arrested. Like I said, the other fools, the other idiots also need to be arrested, because this here was wrong on all 4 ends. All 4 people should be arrested because they knew better from what they was doing. And as I think about this story here, I say to myself, if that child was in the hands of someone that was a completely stranger on that campsite, just think about all of the bad things that those people could have done to this little bitty baby boy. They could have took this little bitty baby boy and molested him, sexually assaulted this young boy. They could have also used this young boy as a slave as he grew up. Now, the child was only 2 months old, and I'm saying to myself, why in the world are they even trying to get rid of this child and give it to somebody on the campsite? What is wrong with people? Now, I'm gonna say this here. Anyone out there that has children, whether it's a newborn on to a teenager, if you do not want your child, here are some tips for you. Take your child to the hospital. Drop them off over there for the safe haven. Also, take the child to the fire department. If that don't work, and you do not want to do that, take the child to a relative that does not mind raising that child. You will be surprised how many relatives that you may have out there that does not mind raising that child that you don't even want. Try it. It'll be better than doing what these idiots right here did. Let's get into more of the stories. Police allege that Crawford appeared to be heavily intoxicated, slurring at his speech, and also struggling to maintain his balance once the authorities approached him. So this dude was already slurring at the speech, struggling to maintain his balance, couldn't even stand up straight because he was so tipsy. I mean, that boy was tipsy off of whatever he was drinking or whatever he was smoking. Man, just think about a child in the presence of a person just like this. They so out of their mind, they so drunk, they can't even maintain their balance, and also slurring at the speech. No way in the world that a child should even be in the presence of people like this. Court pages claim that Urban told the investigators that the child was with Martin undergoing an adoption. So I guess the authorities were supposed to be like, you know what, Mr. Urban, we feel your pain. At least you took the child to someone else that's a drunk, that does not care anything about what's going on around them. We're going to let you go, sir. But it seemed like that's exactly what they did from the get-go. And I'm going to tell you why right now. Urban was released from jail on a $5,000 bond on Tuesday, September the 24th. And Ehlers remains in custody in the Benton County Jail under a $30,000 bond. So he got out of jail on a $5,000 bond, and she still remains in jail under a $30,000 bond. How is that? Why? Why is his bond much lower than the mother? Wasn't they both in on this? Because as I read the story, the father is the one that really came up with all this garbage. Don't make any sense at all. Now the child is now placed in the Health and Human Services under Arkansas, which is the Child Protective Services. And I'm glad that this child is in a safer place, and I hope this child wind up being in a better home than where the child was from the get-go. Let's get into more of the story. Now, the father had already made a GoFundMe or a fundraiser telling lies, trying to get money from people, just telling some type of sad story, trying to lie and trying to get some money. This is exactly what the father said once he put the information online. This is exactly what he was saying. I'm going to read it to you right now. My daughter Rosa was born on May the 20th, 2023. I am super happy to be a dad, but I keep getting beat down every time I think life starts turning around. So every time he think life start turning around, he said he keep getting beat down. That's exactly what he said in this letter. But there's a little bit more. I am trying to make this fundraiser because we live in a motel right now, and it is taking all of my money from my paychecks where I work. I work for Uber Eats. Yay, that's great. Yay, 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 yay. And they also said that it is unclear whether the couple in the facts has a daughter, and if so, where is she? So if they had a daughter, they need to be trying to figure out what in the world is going on. Did they sell another child? Did they? Or was they telling lies from the get-go? Or was he telling lies from the get-go? He already lied in the GoFundMe or the fundraiser saying that, hey, I have a child and we stay in a motel, and all of the funds will give me and my family a better roof over our head. Oh, So I guess they are in the selling child business. So they need to investigate that also and see what is going on with that, because he already said in a fundraiser that they have a daughter by the name of Rosa that was born in 2023 on May the 20th. Did they really have a daughter, or did they lie to people like people may do each and every single day on these GoFundMes? What in the world is really going on? But y'all let me know what y'all think about this story. Tell me what y'all think about this story. Do y'all think they should get a long time in jail? Or do y'all think they should get a short time in jail? Or do y'all think they should go to jail for so long to the point that they learn their lesson? That's exactly what I believe should happen. They should go to jail. Give them both about 15 years apiece. If not that, give them 10 years apiece, without the possibility of parole. So they can go in jail and be a slave. They can go in jail and also be told what to do and be passed around like they're nothing, because they did not care anything at all about this 2-month-old baby. This child could have died. This child could have. And another thing, once the authorities got there and they got this child, the child had diaper rashes out of this world. The child was soiled very bad, urine just very strong on the child, letting them know that the child was not even being taken care of, and the people that they were trying to make a fake adoption papers to. So those people, and I'm gonna say this one more time, everybody that is involved with this child being sold needs to be arrested. The Crawford person and also the person by the name of Martin. Sad. Such a shame. Protect your children. If you see something, say something. Whether it's in your family, or even a neighbor across the street, or even someone you see at the park that may be abusing a child. Y'all have a good one, and y'all have a blessed one. And let me know what y'all think about this story. But until I see y'all on this video, holla at you.